Whisper Podcast. Oh, sorry. Whisper Podcasts may contain content that may be sensitive for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
That's better.
Hello, everybody. So before we jump into today's episode, I want to go ahead and let you know some new updates that we have involving the Britney Spears conservatorship. So this episode is based on on the hashtag Free Britney movement, but Dylan and I recorded this 2 days prior to this news being announced. But the progress that has been made is that Britney Spears' father loses bid to retain control of delegating her investments. This is some amazing progression coming from the Free Britney movement and the overall conservatorship. I know that these are baby steps, but we just wanted to go ahead and let you know what's happening. Unfortunately, since we recorded this 2 days before, we didn't get to talk about it, but I hope that you guys enjoy today's episode. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy our episode on hashtag Free Britney. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Whisper Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Tyler. Pronouns are they, them.
And I'm your host, Dylan Gomez. My pronouns are also they, them. And this is a podcast where
the fine arts, true crime, and mental health are a throuple.
That is our old one, but it's still very much
present.
Stays true, yeah. Stays true.
Yeah. I mean, today we're going to be... we're going to be talking about something that's a little not so fun, fresh, and cute today. And also, like, it's not technically considered a crime, but it should be. But
Let's make it illegal.
Let's make it illegal. Let's talk about it. First of all, I just want to say, Dylan, how long have we been talking about hashtag Free Britney? I feel like she is an idol and an icon to both of us, and just seeing what she's been going through is difficult to watch, and especially with this new documentary dropping on HBO, honey, oh my god.
It just put everything that we already know just like in one place, and it really just like makes you think. I already love this woman. And the shit she has to go through, nobody should have had to go through it. Like,
yeah.
You know?
And I think that for the time, like, nobody knew that it would be traumatizing, but it literally induced trauma on Britney. And now we have so many things in place for Britney that are not so great. So we're just going to chat with you a little bit about that on today's episode. But before we start off, how are you doing today, Dylan?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing wonderful.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my Britney Spears calendar, and she's looking at me, and she's like, "You're finally talking about me? Finally?"
Oh, finally! I've been waiting, honey.
In your podcast.
Actually, our first episode with Clear, we did say hashtag Free Britney.
Yes! Okay. All right. I have to tell my poster.
We came through.
Yeah.
We came through. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking a wonderful, beautiful, fresh cup of black coffee.
Yes. The way to experience all the flavor in your coffee. Hello.
Oh, absolutely. I do not fit the stereotype, by the way. I am not drinking my coffee iced. I'm drinking it hot, so come for me.
And also, Dylan drives pretty well.
Oh. We were off to a good start there, and then, you know.
Sorry.
All right. What are you having today, Zach? What are you enjoying?
I am enjoying a double dirty chai latte that I made myself. Well, not really. Okay. So everybody else made the ingredients for me. I just put them together in a cup.
There you go.
And double dirty chai. Hello. Hi.
Double dirty. Like, you're not with it if it's just a little dirty.
I can't just do a little bit dirty. I need, like, balls to the wall, filthy, dirty, raunchy.
Filthy.
Disgusting. But, on to a more serious matter. Who should... I think... I want you to start off, Dylan, because I feel like I'm the one always starting off, so I want you to just go for it.
Okay, I will go for it. So I do we both watched the documentary, yes. Or you watched it before me. I finally got to it tonight. And holy shit. Like, there is subjects after subjects I want to cover. But first things first, I think I'm going to start, like, in order, like, of time period, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, like, thinking, like, young Britney right now. Britney.
Like child Britney, like singing
like
on a stage, using her, like, ah!
Belting, like, really going for it with her voice and everything. Like, she was a gifted child, and I mean, like, gifted. Right? Like, she had, like, a voice.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, that was, like, Christina Aguilera quality at, like, age 8.
Yeah, I mean, they were always kind of compared to each other.
Well, listen. I'm talking about, like, older Christina, not, like, young Christina. Like, older Christina like that. Like, but just in a small Britney.
She did have that similar kind of, like,
belt. The throat, yes, the belt.
But what I want to hit is the misogyny and the over-sexualization at a very young age. It's like, I think that Britney was, like, asked questions so often about her sexuality, even as a child. And then they go and they turn around and then they blame her for being too sexy. And it's like, excuse me? Every question you've asked her so far has been about her sexuality. You have not asked her about, I don't know, maybe selling millions and millions of albums, being extremely talented, gifted, there you go, belting. Like, nothing about her voice, nothing about, like, anything
nothing what it's like to be, like, singing live at such a young age and to be able to perform like that. Like, you're this old cis white man. If you haven't seen the documentary, you know exactly who I'm talking about. This old cis white man asked this fucking, I believe she was from the ages of 8 to 10, oh, do you have a boyfriend? And you just see Britney there like, and then he's like, oh, am I qualified to be your boyfriend? Sir, you're like 6 times her fucking age. Like, that is an inappropriate fucking question to ask a little girl. And it's just like
creepy. It's just so creepy.
Yeah, and it's just like, she put on this amazing performance and all you could think about is, do you have a boyfriend? Oh, am I qualified to be your boyfriend?
It's like she didn't have any value if it wasn't for like her attaching herself to someone else.
Sorry, to go on your topic.
But, like, in the documentary, I thought it was like interesting that the documentary hit on the fact that at the time the biggest thing was like boy bands, and that was like, you know, the scene, and there wasn't like a single like woman out here, you know, racking in the millions like that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. I didn't really like think about how like she really paved the way for a lot of like solo like pop woman artists in a way. But just from that like kind of very specific genre of pop, I think. Also yeah. So I thought that was interesting. So it started so early. And then also people were just obsessed with her being virgin, which I thought was really weird. Like, I could never imagine somebody like asking me if I was a virgin. Like, what the fuck is that?
Excuse me? Like, what? Why is it any of your business? And it's like, why does it matter?
Like, your like sexual history has, I mean, nothing to do with you unless I want it to have something to do with you. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, ew. And then I'm thinking, like, she's, like, 16, 17 at the time of, like, some of these videos where they're asking her.
And it's, like, you can see the discomfort, like, in her face. Like, she is uncomfortable, like, when she's asked these questions. And it's, like, to speak even to, like, the misogyny, as it's just, like, no one, and not saying that it makes it okay, even if they were, but it's just, like, no one was out there, like, sexualizing, like, these young boys. Like, they were literally just, like, sexualizing, like, these young girls. And, like, attaching her, like you said, like, attaching her to a man, and that was the only thing that gave her value, if anything. And it's just like, hello, do you not see, like, what's in front of us? Like, it's something amazing, and we should appreciate her talent and not necessarily the fact, like, whether she has a man or whether she's a virgin or not. Like, what the fuck? I don't care. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, that has nothing to do with her vocals. That has nothing to do with the music. That has... What? Literally, what?
And she was almost always expected to be this, like, angel, kind of very, like, soft-spoken, girl, right? That like didn't really like fight back when it came to like answering questions or like interviews. She was just always so sweet. She was just always expected to be a sweetheart, right? And then it just got to a certain point. I mean, like even like where she isn't like necessarily being rude or anything. She's just kind of over it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're asking me the same dumb shit every single time.
Ask me something different, please.
Yeah, or she, I don't know, she knows the way she likes things, and then she's like, all right, this is the way I like things, and this is what, like, this is my show, this is, like, what I'm doing, y'all are all making a fat paycheck because of me, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she's just finally, like, saying, like, you know, like, this is the way it's gonna be. This is the way I'm comfortable with it. She's setting her boundaries. That's all she does. And all of a sudden, it's, like, the shift of her, like, all of a sudden, like, being this, like, bad girl.
Diva.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my
Diva.
God. A woman is setting standards for herself. She is a diva. She is rude. She doesn't know what she's doing. Blah, blah, blah.
All of a sudden, you're, like, I don't know, also attacked for that, which I thought was really, oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Also, I know this is going to be, like, something you want to touch on heavily, but I want to talk just a little bit. I just want to point out a specific part where the paparazzi, the guy, he says, well, if she never told us to, like, leave her alone.
Oh.
And they're like, what about when she said, leave me alone?
Me alone? Well, because of other times, you know, like if she asked like multiple times, and like just a question that he literally didn't know how to answer, looked like a fucking idiot. Oh my God! But we'll get more into that. But I do want to say, to touch a little bit more on her like childhood, I think that her rise to stardom wasn't the easiest for her, you know, because it's like she didn't really have any parental guidance, nor did she really have like any guidance, like, to begin with. Like, she was kind of, like, on the road with her assistant, like, best friend manager, and, like, she didn't really have that guidance or, like, was told, like, how to be spoken to or, you know, like, what kind of questions to ask, and it's, like, not that even if she did have that guidance that, like, she would have been able to effectively communicate then, because it's, like, it was the fucking 80s, early 90s, right? Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
No, the 90s. The 90s.
Like,
okay.
90s.
Yeah, so it was like the mid-90s, you know? So it's like there was no form of guidance for her, and so it's just like for all of this pressure to be put on someone who has no form of guidance, no parental guidance, like, I can't imagine what that's like. And then just being like so busy, like, all the time, you know? It's like she said in the documentary, it's just like you wake up one day and you're like a star, you know? Like, she didn't expect to like become that as famous as she did, you know, and little did we all know that it would take kind of the turn for the, I don't want to say the worst for her, because it's like she's built a beautiful career, but it's just like, as we see now, things aren't really working out in Britney's favor, and I feel like she has put in so much hard work into her career and into herself as an artist that she's not getting what she deserves for all that hard work that she put in. You know, like, she set boundaries for herself, and, you know, she kind of had to, like, guide herself and, like, teach herself, like, the way of the world, and, again, she was one of, like, the first of her kind, really, like, as a female pop artist, you know? So, okay, so right before my, lemon bladder was, reactive,
yeah,
Dylan and I were talking about, Britney Spears' childhood, you know, and, like, kind of how it was a struggle for her, how she was overly sexualized, and the misogyny that came with that.
So, I want to move into, like, the big, just elephant in the room. What you wanted to mention. You really want to talk about the mental health aspect what Brittany was going through. And I do have some comments on that. So I don't know if you want to go into that.
Yeah, so I definitely think that when it comes to mental health, you know, as we can see